Good morning, Trig. We are going to be covering lesson 102. It's an extension of binomial expansion. So this is actually part 2. Part 1 was lesson 77. So here's a review of Pascal's triangle. Now remember that Pascal's triangle continues on and on forever, and we build it. You have to memorize the first 2 rows, but then everything after that begins and ends with a 1, and the numbers in the middle are a sum of the 2 above it. So I'm getting 2 because 1 plus 1. So I begin with a 1, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 1 is 3, and I end with a 1. And it continues on and on. In each of these rows, I have represents the value of n, which is our, if you'll notice, our exponent. So something we're going to go over today when I do binomial expansion, I'm going to use my combinations, and then I have x and minus r, and then y to the r. Now let me clarify that each of these values in Pascal's triangle has an equivalent binomial value. So for example, this row here, n is 3, so this is 3c0, this is 3c1, this is 3c2, and I should end with n and r being equal. And I can do that for each row here. This is 2c0, 2c1, 2c2. This would be 1c0, 1c1. This would be 0c0. So this here, this is n equals 4, so this would be 4c0, 4c1, 4c2, 4c3, 4c4. And that's how you would do each of these rows. So I'm going to jump right in doing some examples. So find the 4th term of negative 3x plus 2y squared to the 4th power. So know that I can identify n. N equals 4. So I know that I have 4c0, 4c1, 4c2, 4c3, and I'm going to stop there because this is the first, second, third, fourth. So I'm using that, so 4c3, and then here is my first term, negative 3x. Here's my second, 2y squared. Now I know that if I put this in order, that 3 or r, right, because I have n and this is r. So r goes here, so 3, and n minus r goes here, so 4 minus 3 is 1. Also, I know that the sum of exponents must equal n. So I can't exceed the value. From here, I'm going to evaluate this. We happen to have the triangle above us. 4c3 is 4. So I'm just going to use that. I have 4 times negative 3x times 8y to the 6th, right? 2 to the 3rd, y squared to the 3rd. So that gives me 4 times negative 3 times 8. So negative 96xy to the 6th. And so there is my 4th term. So next one, find the 3rd term of negative 3x plus 2y squared to the 5th. And you know what? I didn't realize these were the exact same. So I'm going to change this up to be 2x minus 4y. Sorry, I didn't realize it was the same as the last one. All right. So find the 3rd term. So in this case, n equals 5. So 5c0, 5c1, 5c2. So here's my first, second, third. So I'm going to use 5c2, and I'm going to group, here's my first term, 2x cubed. Here's my next term, negative 4y. Here's n, here's r, so r goes here, which is 2, and 2 plus 3 is 5, or 5 take away 2. So now I'm going to simplify this. I'm going to have to enter that, 5c2, and I get 10 times 2 cubed is 8, x to the 9th, negative 4 squared is 16y squared. So if I simplify that, 10 times 8 times 16, I get 1,280 x to the 9th y squared. Next example, find the middle term of a minus b to the 10th. So what do they mean by middle? Well, let's see here, I would have 10c0, 10c1, 10c2, and I'm going to go ahead and go all the way I'm sure there's a faster way, but I cannot think of it. So find the middle, so working your way out. So here's my middle term. So 10c5, my first term is a, my next term is negative b. Here is n, and here is r. So I know 5 goes here, and 10 minus 5 is 5. And so now I'm going to simplify. So 10, and then I hit the probability, 5, so I get 252. If you're using Desmos, just Google, or you'll find it under probability, and then you enter 10 and 5 in parentheses. And then I get a to the 5th and negative b to the 5th. So that gives me negative 252, a to the 5th, b to the 5th. I'm going to do one more with you, slightly different. So last one, expand 2a squared minus x cubed to the 3rd. So I'm going to do this old school. This is n equals 3, and from Pascal's triangle, my row is 1, 3, 3, 1. Okay, so here's Pascal's triangle. So this is review from lesson 77. So I start with Pascal's triangle. So 1, you could use 3c0 if you want. And then my first term, 2a squared, my next term, and then I'm going to keep setting it up. Next number, 3, 2a squared, negative x cubed. Next term, 3, 2a squared, negative x cubed. 1, 2a squared, negative x cubed. So I hope you can see these numbers here are here, 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 and here. Now I'm going to add my exponents. So the first term should begin with a 3 because that's what n is, and then it should decrease as we move left to right. The opposite should occur for the second term. 3 plus 0 is 3, and anything to the 0th power is gone. This is 1, 2, 3, and again, anything to the 0th power is gone. So here I have 2 cubed and a squared cubed, so that gives me 8a to the 6th. Plus, this is 3 times 4a to the 4th times negative x cubed. So that would be negative 12a to the 4th x cubed. This next one I have 3 times 2 to the 1st, so 2a squared plus x to the 6th, because a negative squared is a positive. So that gives me positive 6a squared x to the 6th. Last, this gives me 1 times negative x to the 9th. So minus x to the 9th. And so I'm going to circle that. That is my answer. The homework for 102, you're going to skip numbers 4, 5, 11 through 12, 21, and 27. Thank you.